it's different. It's a different vibe. Like seeing the fans happy and just the whole state of Georgia behind us and just winning it, all the hard work we put into it, it paid out for sure.
Speaking of the hard work, from the start of the season to now, how would you describe this journey throughout this football season?
I'll say long. It was a process of coming together, getting the whole team to buy in, to winning, to working hard, to getting to where we go. But at the beginning of the season, we came connected and figured out what we wanted to do, and it all paid out. So it's been a great journey. We'll hopefully do it again next year.
From clinching the national title in Indianapolis, celebrating in Indy, to now back here at home in Athens, how ready are you for this day to see the fans and being able to celebrate here at home?
I just don't know what to expect because Georgia fans are different. We have the best fans in the country, and I just can't wait to see like just how it pans out. Because yeah, I just can't wait. It's gonna be crazy. 100%.
You're into your sophomore season here. This season alone, you appeared in 12 of 15 games. How have you seen yourself grow from your first season with the Bulldogs to now?
I want to say my mental toughness of going through this, my mentality has definitely changed, and I feel like I've become more of a team player and knowing how to care for my brothers and knowing how much it means to some of the older players to win a national championship and working hard for them. I feel like that's my biggest growth mentally, yes.
As national champions now, where do you see the future of this program going?
I said that we're just building our dynasty right now. Kirby's building his dynasty. It's time for Georgia to take over.
You played at Savannah Christian, and then you went off to IMG Academy. What's your message to family and friends and former teammates back at home that might be watching you right now?
We did it. We did it. Hard work from Savannah to now, the whole city. I know y'all are proud, and I just thank y'all for backing me this whole time and just keeping me focused. It's for Savannah. We're going to keep going up.
I have to ask, do you have your parade wave down? Have you been practicing?
I'm hitting with this.
Nailed it. Well, congratulations and enjoy today.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Brinson, one of nearly a dozen Georgia football players with local ties to Southeast Georgia, and those players getting ready to make their way down this very dog walk into Sanford Stadium. And as you can see, thousands of fans packed in. Take a look at just this parking structure alone. Fans hanging off of it, piled up, just trying to see their favorite players make their way through. Again, those players getting ready to make their way down dog walk. The band starting to make their way, followed by the cheerleaders, and then, of course, the players. Frank, back to you in the studio.
Center deck. Yeah. It's right there by the Tate Student Union, so that's already a central gathering spot for so many Bulldog faithful, especially during game days and graduation. Anything right there at Sanford Stadium. You got the bridge that goes right across from the Student Center to the stadium. So that's always going to be a large gathering spot regardless. And then you throw a national championship celebration, and that place is going to be packed, as you can see. And what's going to happen is this is going to be a very typical type game day environment. You're going to have the team, they're going to parade in, and then they're going to go to that Bulldog walk. That's the last thing they see and they do before they go into Sanford Stadium. They're going to go into Sanford Stadium, and then coming up at 2 o'clock, there's going to be that celebration inside the stadium there.
You know, Frank, I've actually never been to Athens myself. Never been to game day. However, even just today, you can feel the excitement. I mean, all the way back here in Savannah, really an exciting time, 40 years in the making.
Well, you've had folks who have been waiting for this moment for a long time, and a lot of the fans you're going to see there in Athens today, they've actually been making the trips. They went down to the Orange Bowl to watch Georgia take care of Michigan, and then they went up to Indianapolis to watch Georgia earlier this week knock off Alabama for the College Football Playoff National Championship game. As you can see, you got our cameras rolling there on the right from the parade route, and we're taking this thing live, so you're going to see some unusual camera movements as they zoom in and out, trying to gather that scene there. And we talked about it. You're going to have pickup trucks. You're going to have flatbed trailers. You got semis there. And what you're going to see, the cheerleaders, the football coaches, the football team, they're all going to have a chance. The Marching Redcoat Band, they are there as well. You're going to have family members. And again, there's some family members right there. I see actually Will Muschamp right there on that. And he is, of course, former South Carolina head coach who came over to be a defensive analyst for head coach Kirby Smart. And they're going to parade in, And, fans have been getting their spots since last night. We can tell you that. Folks have gone ahead and camping out. And you want that those prime spots there along the parade route, just like you would on a Saturday. You want to be in that right spot to get up close and personal to your Bulldogs. Now, we can see Nakaya Carrero is in another box right below me. She's going to stand by now and tell us what she's seeing out there along the parade route as well. Nakaya having some fun this Saturday morning.
Yes, Frank, we've been out here since 6 a.m. and we've just seen the evolution of the parade come together. This morning when we got out here, not many people, but preparations underway, and they told us around 7 people would start rolling into tailgate like if it was game day, and that's exactly what happened. We've seen people tailgate, partying, and they say, usually on game day they're nervous, but not today. Today they're celebrating and they're excited. We're here, we're with fans, and they're ready to see their championship team. We'll be here all day bringing you live coverage, and we're just waiting for those buses to come down with the players.
And alumni enjoying that big weekend at the UGA, including former Georgia star quarterback Aaron Murray.
I got very emotional after the game. I was there in Indy. It was a blast. I'm happy that we finally got that monkey off our back. 2 things. We slayed the Dragon in Alabama. We won a Natty. That's number 2. And I'm just really pumped to be back in Athens and have some fun this weekend.
Of course, Aaron Murray won his fair share of games, part of that legacy of Georgia quarterbacks. There's been some great ones over the years. Aaron Murray, Eric Zeier, Matt Stafford, Fran Tarkington, and one guy who kind of solidified his spot in the greats for Georgia, Stetson Bennett IV, the young man from Pierce County, the pride of Blackshear. And, Emma, when we were up there in Indianapolis, we kind of had this ongoing joke that not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes they come from Blackshear, Georgia. What we want to do real quick is go back to Monday night where Amy Zimmer had a chance to go one-on-one with Stetson Bennett just minutes after Georgia won that national title.
From former walk-on to now a national champion, how does it feel to know that you just guided the Georgia Bulldogs to its first national title since 1980?
It's amazing. I can't put it into words. I love it. I have no idea what to say right now. It's incredible.
What was the difference for your team in this game compared back to the SEC championship?
When it started going bad, when I fumbled that ball down there, we went right back the next 2 drives and scored touchdowns. We put it in our heads, that we were not going to let what happened in the previous 4 times with them coming back and, us losing our touch and just letting it steamroll. And we just kept our head down, kept working, and we won.
Of course, Bennett and the Bulldogs taking down the Crimson Tide 33-18, snapping that 7-game losing streak to Alabama. Also getting revenge after Georgia fell short in that 2018 national championship game. Heck, in this year's SEC championship game itself.
We do want to check in with our Amy Zimmer, who is live, of course, down by Sanford Stadium. And Amy, such an exciting day out there. I mean, you've been covering this all week long, from Indy up to Athens now. What's going on out there?
The energy is so different here compared to Indianapolis. Of course, winning a national championship is huge, but it was on the road. It wasn't at home for these Georgia Bulldogs. So now to be back in Athens for this team to be able to celebrate here at home outside Sanford Stadium, soon to be making their way inside between season, it makes it extra special for this team to now be able to celebrate with their fans. And as you can see, I'm actually standing right in the middle of the famous dog walk. The band just set up. We're getting ready for the players to make their way down the dog walk into Sanford Stadium at the end of this walk. And how about this? I'm actually standing next to a family that was from Wilmington Island, about 20 of you all here. Hey, buddy, are you ready to see your favorite players make their way down dog walk?
Yes.
How long have you guys been standing out here?
2 hours.
2 hours? Is it worth it, though?
Yes.
All right, well, you guys enjoy. Have fun. Let's get a Go Dogs. So many local local ties to this Georgia football team here in Athens, from nearly a dozen players on this team with local Southeast Georgia ties, and then of course the fan base always making their way up to here in Athens to cheer on their favorite team. Frank, Emma, back to you in the studio.
Amy, it looks like fun out there this afternoon. I do have to request, I want some of that championship gear you got on today, girl. It is awesome. Well, we are going to go live to the parade right now where we can see the bus is moving through. Boy, does that look so nice. 2022 national champions.
Yeah, that has a nice ring to it, I know, for so many people around the state of Georgia. Again, you got the buses, of course, the champions coach. Those are the ones who took Georgia to a lot of the games. So they're going to get their due here along the parade route. Now, what we can tell you is the parade itself, starting at 12:30, 5 minutes ago, they're getting that thing moving. And what's going to happen is going to conclude. We just saw Amy there. She's at the dog walk. The parade's going to wrap up there about 1 o'clock. And then an hour later at 2 o'clock, the championship ceremony going to be held inside Sanford Stadium. We can tell you all tickets for that championship celebration are gone.
Yeah, a lot of dog fans looking to get in. I think that sold out, Frank, actually Thursday night probably.
Yeah, they went pretty quick there to get inside the stadium. And as you're seeing a lot of folks along the parade route, you didn't have to have a ticket to line the parade route. It began at the corner of South Lumpkin Street and Pinecrest Drive, running past the UGA Athletic Complex towards downtown and the UGA campus. And again, it's going to wrap up there at Sanford Stadium.
And our Nakia Carrero, she has been out there live all morning long. We saw some great coverage this morning during our morning show. She got to talk to some folks that have been tailgating at the Dogs games every day this year. We do want to go out to her live right now. She's along the parade route. And Nakia, what's going on out there right now?
Emma, so I've been out here, I've been talking to people all morning, all throughout the day, but I actually met a woman, Miss Ann, who drove from Savannah this morning to be here for this parade. And tell us, why are you here? Why did you drive all the way to Athens the day of the parade?
I am a diehard Georgia fan. I am a season ticket holder, born and bred. My dad had season tickets. My grandfather had season tickets. This is in my blood. So we are national season ticket, obviously, holders. 41 years I wanted to be here for the first national championship ceremony. So go Dogs. This is why you come, for the Dogs. This is why I'm here.
Well, you heard it. It's all about the Dogs today, and that's why people are out here. And as we're seeing, they're coming up right up the street right now where they're kicking off the parade, and people are excited. Frank and Emma, back to you.
We are just coming through. Well, of course, the Georgia Bulldog fans, they could not be more excited for their team's first national championship in 41 years. So many hit the store right after the big win earlier this week. Dick's Sporting Goods stayed open late Monday night and opened early Tuesday morning to allow all of those fans to get their hands on some of that championship swag. We are going to head out live to our Amy Zimmer, who, of course, is right near Sanford Stadium right now. And Amy, I mean, you've been talking to folks all morning. They are fired up. They are ready to see their Georgia Bulldogs. So tell us, what is it like out there right now?
Thanks, Emma. The energy continues to build here at Dog Walk as fans are waiting to see their favorite players make their way down inside Sanford Stadium. Get this, so Sanford Stadium seats over 92,000 people. In just the span of almost an hour back when those tickets went on sale to be able to attend this special championship ceremony, tickets were gone. And of course, this is a free event, and here for the parade, anyone can come as long as you can find a spot to squeeze in to be able to watch the team make their way into the stadium. As you can see, the band starting to line up now. Again, fans just lined up anywhere they can, hanging from the parking structure even. The band fired up, ready to go. Gotta love the cheers from these fans and from the band. This has been a long journey for these fans. Starting out in the beginning of the season, Georgia came in ranked number 5 in the preseason polls, and then Georgia just started to prove themselves all the way back in Charlotte when they took on Clemson. They knew that, hey, we're going to be a defensive team. They won that game, then they went on to win all their other games throughout the regular season to go undefeated. They were ranked #1 in the AP Top 25 poll for 8 straight weeks. These fans have had a lot to cheer about throughout the season. They had to see their team bounce back after the SEC championship in the Orange Bowl in Miami, and then of course in Indianapolis, the Dogs on top crowned national champions. So a lot to celebrate, a lot to be proud of. These fans have been waiting a long time for this, over 4 decades, and now the moment is here for these fans to see their national champions. And it looks like we're getting closer and closer for them to make their way down this dog walk, and fans just continue to get fired up. Back to you guys in the studio.
They sure are fired up, Frank. My goodness gracious.
As you would expect, again, 1980, the last time the Georgia Bulldogs won a national title, and you get to this moment here, and so many folks fired up, excited to be part of this. As you can see, the parade now is rolling in full effect. As you can see, the Dogs, you had asked me earlier if that was them from a distance.
Yeah.
As you can see now, they are sporting the white jacket tops with their Nike swoosh, that 2022 National Championship logo. That's one of the cool things that these guys get, all the swag that those guys get, rightfully so. And those are things that they'll cherish forever. And the fans get a chance to see some of that stuff right now. Now, what you're starting to see is some of the big-time players. They're getting those cars. They get a little bit more of that special treatment, and rightfully so. So many of those Georgia players that helped catapult the Dogs to this national title win over Alabama back on Monday night. There's that wave that they were talking about. We heard just a couple minutes ago. Warren Brinson, of course, Savannah native, played at Savannah Christian before leaving to go to IMG Academy. Now one of the guys along the defensive front for the Bulldogs. He was talking about that parade wave, that beauty pageant wave, where you don't hurt your wrist. You got to keep it all in shape for the entire parade route. So these guys definitely got a lot of smiles and a lot of waves as they try to get those fans fired up along the parade route this morning.
And it looks like over on the left side of our screen, that's definitely Amy's shot there, and the band, they are fired up. They're ready to welcome their Georgia Bulldogs into Sanford Stadium. And I mean, overall, it just looks like such a great time out there this morning. People started lining up, Frank, probably right around 8 o'clock. We were taking live looks, and I mean, these fans were ready. This has been way too long in the making for them.
Again, what you're seeing over on the left side, this is going to be the end of the parade route. The parade route's going to dump those players, those coaches. They're going to dump out right there, and they're going to come in for that traditional dog walk where fans, the band is playing. And I'm going to tell you, I've had a chance to be in Athens on a Saturday. That is pretty much as electric as it gets. Yes, getting inside the stadium is great, but when you have so many fans, thousands, and you got the band playing, and you got all the adrenaline going as you're walking into the stadium to get ready to do battle, it doesn't get more electric than what the Bulldogs are about to experience. And it's going to be very similar to any game day there in Saturday when those players start making their way in towards Sanford Stadium. Again, what you're seeing there is you got folks lining up. They're sitting from that Tate Center parking deck. It's multi-levels there, and that's really a good view as the players make their way through the dog walk, then into the stadium. And again, they're going to make their way into the stadium, and there'll be a little lull before the celebration starts at 2 o'clock. And again, it is a sellout inside. There are no tickets available as folks get ready to go into Sanford Stadium for this celebration today.
And it's so amazing to see these players in these cars right now. And we just saw a few of them, giving high fives to kids. I mean, these kids have been watching, obviously, the Georgia Bulldogs all season long. Now they get to see their favorite players. I mean, for a lot of them, this is a really big deal.
And let's remember, too, a lot of times we see these championship parades for a Super Bowl champion or a World Series champion or a Stanley Cup champion. Those are professional athletes. They're still a little bit out of reach.
Yeah.
But what you're seeing is you're starting to see these little kids who, they come from the same communities that these Bulldogs come from. They're used to watching them, as a high school player, right through college. And so they're a little bit more obtainable, a little bit more approachable, so they can get up there and they get a handshake, they get a hug, they get a hand pound. And that's just it. You have kids who are along that parade route today that this right here may just motivate them and catapult them to be the next great Georgia football player.
And that's one of the best things, Frank. And seeing this team this year and this parade excitement, after watching them all season long, Frank, I mean, do you think that it'll be another 40-plus years before we get a parade like this?
No, and here's the thing, and this is something that Kirby Smart has been building since he came. You know, he hits the recruiting heavy. What this does is this now catapults. It's not that when will we be able to celebrate another one. Now it's going to be, you know, we're ready to celebrate another one. You know, that's one of those things that, and there's something, if you guys watch SEC Shorts, and they really have fun, and they do a great job of kind of playing off each week what happens around the SEC. And the ongoing thing with the Georgia Bulldogs was Georgia was dating a girl named Hope. Well, Hope. There's hope that Georgia can get over the hump and finally win a national title. Well, hope is gone. Hope has left Athens. There is no more hope. They have a national title. They have their second national title since 1980. So now they know they can do it. Now they just have to go out and do it. And what you're going to see is, I think Georgia has now solidified themselves into one of the top tier programs in the country. We're already starting to see it, but now they have that national championship to boast. So it's going to continue. I think Nakia has someone else there on the parade route.
Yeah, you know, Frank, we were just talking about these kids watching the Georgia Bulldogs and aspiring to be like them. Well, Nakia has a special guest that I think might just be one of those kids. Nakia, who are we speaking to here?
I do. I have Davis here with me, who's super excited to be here today. Davis, how do you feel seeing the players?
Oh, amazing. I'm so happy that they were able to finish it off. The SEC championship really, it was terrible, but we picked it back up and we really got it through, and I'm really happy.
And what are you looking forward to the most? Who are you looking forward to seeing today?
Well, I've already seen him, Brock Bowers. I love that man so much. He's so great.
Davis, who are you here with?
Our family. We're just having a blast.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Davis. Enjoy the parade. You heard him. Go Dogs. It's exciting. Everyone's excited. And you're just seeing all these kids interact, and they're just super happy to be here to see their players up close. Back to you guys.
This is what they're born into. I mean, it's generation after generation after generation. And I see that little guy, and something that jumps out is, here's a note I want to make. Georgia head coach Kirby Smart, he was just 5 years old when the Bulldogs won a national title back in 1980. So just let that soak in, how long it's been. How many young boys, young girls who had dreams and aspirations of being Georgia cheerleaders or Georgia football players or trainers or a member of the marching Red Coat Band. They've never seen or experienced a national championship in their lifetime until this week. So, yeah, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime, but this is also going to be perhaps the first of many yet to come for these young Bulldog fans. And it's so great to see. And again, yeah, these young boys and girls, they're raised into this. They know all about their Georgia football because it's part of life. It's passed down from generation to generation to generation.
Well, we sure hope, Frank, that it's not another 40-plus years in the making, right?
I think Georgia's going to be able to get another one. I'm not going to guarantee one next year, but I can tell you this, that the 40 seasons in between national championships, that ends the 5th longest such streak gap between championships for a college football team. Only Auburn, Michigan, Tennessee, and LSU had longer droughts in between national championship wins. So it's over. Georgia doesn't have to worry about those jokes anymore. As you can see, they are clearly the best team in college football during the 2021 season. They took on all the oncomers. The only loss was to Alabama in that SEC championship, but Georgia did what every good team wants to do. Go back out there, get your revenge. And again, it's hard to beat a good team twice, as we saw Alabama couldn't do it against the Bulldogs this year.
Well, and I think not a lot of people weren't sure if the Bulldogs were going to be able to pull this off. But I mean, both you and Amy in our special, you picked Georgia. So the two of you, I mean, what made you think that they were going to be able to pull it off against Alabama this second time around?
There was something special early on when Georgia was ranked #1 for so many weeks. And there was a lot of questions that Georgia maybe didn't have the toughest schedule in college football. And that's true. But with that said, Georgia was doing to those weaker opponents what you're supposed to do if you're a good team. They were annihilating them.
Yeah.
There was no doubt in some of the wins. I mean, yes, they started the season with a very close game against Clemson up in Charlotte, which Amy was at. Of course, that opened up the season. And we didn't know that Clemson was going to be down a little bit this year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, what we saw in that week 1 was that this Georgia defense was going to be head and shoulders above what many are going to be able to put out in the field. And as the season went along, we saw that. Of course, there were moments where a lot of folks were questioning what was Georgia going to do. Is it going to be Stetson Bennett at quarterback? Is it going to be JT Daniels, who was a 5-star guy who came in? He had a few injuries, and what we saw was a guy like Stetson Bennett, the former walk-on from Pierce County, who was not going to be denied this opportunity. He went out there and he seized his moment. And again, there will be a movie. It may not be this year or next year, but there's going to be a Stetson Bennett movie. You can guarantee that because it's just too good. I mean, if Rudy had a movie, I'm sorry. Stetson Bennett, the young man who was too undersized, wasn't good enough to play at a Power 5 conference or a place like Georgia, turned down Ivy League offers and everything else, and went to Georgia, and he solidified himself as a national champ. So we talked about all the great quarterbacks who have come through Athens. Your 2 national champion quarterbacks, Buck Bellew, which I will say this too, Buck Bellew is a former sports anchor here at WJCL.
Really?
Yeah. So Buck, won a national title during the 1980 season, and now you have Stetson Bennett the 4th. So again, when you look at all the quarterbacks who have come through Athens, you may not think that Buck Bellew and Stetson Bennett were 2 of the best, but they're the ones that got you to a national championship and led that offense out there on the field.
And Frank, you've been covering sports for a really long time. What has it been like seeing Stetson Bennett? I mean, nobody thought that it was going to be the story that it ended up being. So what has that been like for you covering this all season long?
You know, it's something that earlier this week that we started having these conversations with, we started getting the pictures of the cheerleaders and band members, and they're over on my Facebook page. To see those kids, those young people who, you've seen here, be able to do it on the biggest stage and have this type of experiences, one of the most rewarding things I think I can have as a sports journalist and as a journalist as a whole is seeing those kids fulfill dreams. And I'm talking about not just the guys who are playing football, which we have about a dozen guys on the Georgia roster from here in Southeast Georgia. They may not all contribute. Some may be walk-ons, some may be scout team guys. Some guys may not even been in full uniforms. But they went through the practices day in and day out, just like everybody else. And then you have the band members who have put in all the work going all the way back to the summer to get their performances. Then the cheerleaders. We have athletic trainers from here close to home who are on that Georgia team as well. To see that and see those young people fulfill their dreams, again, it's one of the most rewarding things. Stetson Bennett just so happens to be the most visible guy because he's the quarterback at the national champion.
Well, you can always say, I knew him when.
Way back when. That's the fun part.
Yeah, it'll be. I think you're right about the movie deal, and it's a great story. Why not, right?
It's going to be a great story on Stetson Bennett, that's for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, we're looking at that parade again right now, where it looks like people are just filing. Are they heading towards Sanford Stadium?
Yeah, and this is one thing that we needed to remind everybody about. This parade, it's not going to be one of those ones where candy is being thrown out. There's going to be bands in the parade and floats and little funny cars. This was just a matter of getting the team from point A to point B. So that was just it. It was a chance for the fans to line the parade route, see their Bulldogs up close and personal. And again, as you can see, Nakaya is standing by down there along the parade route as the parade has already kind of made its way past her, going over towards Sanford Stadium now. Again, that celebration coming up a little over an hour from now.
And we are going to go to Nakaya now. And Nakaya, really crazy busy morning and a lot of fans out there. What has it been like being in Athens this morning during such an exciting time for dog fans?
Well, you heard it behind me. They're still screaming, "Go Dogs!"
Even though the parade is past us, the excitement, the energy has just been building up all day and all morning. And now, as people start cleaning up and they're cleaning up their tailgates, they say they're heading to the celebration to keep the party going. And they're just exciting. You hear everyone. Just fans of all ages, they're out here and they're just walking towards Sanford Stadium that is about, I would say, a mile that way, and they're just excited. Look, Savannah! So yeah, Emma, Frank, even though the parade is over, the party continues, the celebration continues. The Georgia Bulldogs are champions, and you could feel it in the air.
Nakaya, before we let you go, I do need one thing from you, and I know there's a little bit of a delay, but can I get a Go Dogs?
So earlier this week when I was at a watch party, I kind of figured I wasn't saying dogs right. Apparently it's the dogs. So go Dogs.
It is. We're in the South, girl. It is. Go Dogs. All right. Nakaya, thank you so much. And it looks like, Frank, we're getting a look from our sister station in Atlanta right now from WSB. They have a look at the parade. Maybe the other end of it?
Yeah, what you're going to do is WSB set up there, and WSB actually got the exclusive rights to broadcast the entire thing. Of course, rightfully so, WSB does such a great job covering Georgia football, doing the coaches show, and everything else. So what you're going to start seeing is these fans trying to get to the next chance to see the players before, because again, a lot of these fans, they're not going to get the opportunity to be inside Sanford Stadium for the celebration coming up at 2 o'clock. So you're going to have these fans trying to get to the next point along the parade route. And there are shortcuts through campus. There certainly are. But you got some folks who are humping it out there around campus. And anybody who's been to Athens at any point, not necessarily just during a Saturday game day, quite hilly there in Athens, not flat like back here at home. So you definitely have to have your energy and your walking shoes on as you try to make your way around the Georgia campus there in Athens.
Well, it looks like the cold did not shy anyone away, Frank. Nobody cared how cold it was today.
No, and that wasn't going to be an issue now either. I mean, folks were going to get out there brave. Plus, there's not warm toddies being enjoyed by those folks who are of age. So yeah, there's a lot of warmth right now in Athens and a lot of love, a lot of excitement. So you're not going to have too many folks struggling with the cold. And again, this cold is nothing compared to what we saw and what some of these folks saw up in Indianapolis back on Monday.
Yeah, you and Amy needed some layers, huh?
Several layers, and we're still kind of thawing out from it all as well. So.
Oh. My goodness, it looked cold. Well, it looks like we see some of those tailgaters, maybe even the ones from this morning. You know, I got to give them credit. They came prepared. They had fire pits out there this morning, like you said, enjoying some beverages a little early, but it's never too early when you're doing a celebration like this, probably.
Listen, it's never too early when you're celebrating a national championship. I mean, some of these folks, let's be honest, they haven't stopped partying since Monday night. So there's a ring. I don't know what ring he's showing us, but he's got some bling, and I can tell you what, right now that's one of the things that's in the works as well is Georgia. And you talk about something that is going to be cherished forever. Wait till you see the national championship ring these Bulldogs get for winning a national title. Now, with all the celebration and everything that's going on, one thing that we do have to talk about is a little bit of the business end of it. And as expected, you have several players who have played a big part in Georgia's run to a national title. Those guys declaring this week for the 2022 NFL Draft. So this is part of it. Now you rebuild, you reload, you retool. But we're talking about guys like Nakobe Dean at linebacker, wide receiver George Pickens. You have offensive lineman Jamari Slayer and defensive lineman Trayvon Walker. All said they're planning to go to the NFL Draft. So do you running back Zamir White, of course, Zeus White there, and James Cook. All those guys, their decision really is no surprise. They're all expected to be taken early in the 2022 NFL Draft, and that's what happens. You win a national title, you got players who are going to be playing on Sunday, and it's no different up in Athens.
Yeah, and so Frank, now that the parade is wrapped up, next job is the dog walk, and then obviously the celebration this afternoon.
Yeah, you go to the dog walk. We'll be wrapping things up, and again, they said this thing from start to finish was only going to be around 15, 20 minutes. And as we're seeing, you blink, you miss this thing, folks. Again, this was a brief parade just to get these student athletes from point A to B, and then you're going to go inside for the celebration, which we will, of course, have a complete recap of coming up tonight on WJCL 22 News at 6 and 11.
Well, and you know, that parade is a great opportunity for folks who can't get inside the stadium for that celebration to be able to see everyone and just, you know, enjoy the day. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're inside or you're out, it's a party.
Well, and that's just it. It's one of those things where these folks are going to be able to say they were there when. Yeah. We were there when Georgia was celebrating a national title, and we talked about it. 1980, the last time. So I know a lot of folks are excited, and you know, if you've been around the state long enough, I think every sports fan probably has one of those Coca-Cola bottles from 1980. Listen, I still got one at my house. It's just one of those things where you've picked up, whether you were at the game or you've picked up at an antique shop or a yard sale. There's actually been videos this past week of folks drinking those things, celebrating a national championship with drinking a Coke from 40 years ago. I ain't that crazy and not happening, but I know folks are really excited to see what the new Coke commemorative bottle is. And again, go ahead and knock the dust off that 1980 because there's now 2021.
Well, that'll do it for our Celebrating the Championship coverage here on WJCL 22. Remember, right here at 6 o'clock tonight, we will have a full wrap of all of the celebrations today. Thanks so much for joining us.